We should
Oh,
be on soon. What happened to Guy?
I think he dropped because he was getting a shitty signal.
Alright. Oh, no. Guy. No.
I'm here.
Oh, I know you're here. I just say I see nobody.
Oh,
Guy
I
called
know.
me on another thing and I got confused. So people who are watching just saw me like switch screens. Um,
and then he answers, goes, "Oh, guy," and then hangs up.
yeah. First of all, let's play our shitty intro.
Hey, I like our shitty intros.
Are
Are you guys experiencing what I'm experiencing, or am I the only person?
I hear it with you and Law, not so much Tom.
That's what. Okay, so everyone's experiencing it. It's like super frustrating because I want to hear it, like what you guys are saying, and I just can't. It's like so. Westbrook.
You sound pretty good so far.
I'm sitting right in front of my whatever you want to call it right now. I can't think. I'm just.
Laptop?
Sure. No,
No,
the
this means
next
the
one.
modem thing. The modem listening to
Oh,
Geek Ronin, not We the Geek Tom.
Yeah.
My modem is right behind
Right.
the modem is right behind the computer, which I'm sitting right in front of. And like I said, I was connected to my wire.
I am hardwired in, so I'm good to go. All right, sorry for that.
My
That early on fuck up,
restroom.
you guys. But we are on. We are live. Um, who is dropping the sad emojis already?
Poor
Um,
guy.
poor guy. So is poor guy. It seems like Pete is dropping sad emoji because we,
Funny enough,
cause
actually,
we,
this
cause we,
poor guy.
we
Super
ducked. So we ducked it up already. Can't take you fucks anywhere. Thanks,
Nope.
Pete. Thanks, Pete.
You really can't. That's pretty much what it is.
Um,
Well, it's close to Christmas.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm happy.
I'm feeling closer, like into the Christmas spirit, like so people get really hyped for Christmas the minute after like Halloween finishes, and I'm like, you fucks need to give Thanksgiving its rightful due, or I will cut you. Why? Why?
Yeah, all I heard was "I will cut you."
Yeah, I will cut you, and that's as far as I got.
That's that black people internet for you.
No, I said like people have to wait for Thanksgiving. Give us our due. Wait for Thanksgiving, and then we can start getting into like the holiday spirit.
I love the well, yeah, that's true. But I love the holiday thing. It just sucks when you're like $500 and something overdrawn in your bank account. That's always fun. But I'm still in the spirit. You guys see my Christmas tree?
Yes, it looks great.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually really happy with that. I just need to get like a little set of lights because, yeah, I have to get a special set because you can't just it's a small tree. The tree's nice.
Nice.
It's
So
pretty, but you got.
I personally don't have one yet. Apparently, I'm supposed to be getting one soon. TBD.
You getting your TD show?
Hurry up before you better hurry up before it's fucking Easter.
Right? I have no idea.
Lawrence, did you say you were getting your
So
TV
so so here no TBD. To be determined if I'm getting because like no one like so my roommate usually goes home for the holidays. Like he'll go home for Christmas. My dad usually goes to his in-laws' place. Like everyone pretty much kind of just like does their own thing, so no one's in my physical house.
You have a physical house.
Like no one comes to my place for Christmas. So for me to get a Christmas tree up for no one to be here and enjoy it, it's kind of just like, eh.
Do it for you. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I missed a lot of that too.
I said, do it for yourself, Boo. Get your own tree. Get it for yourself. You want to do it.
That I'm the type of person that I hold on to it for too long. Like it'll be like closing it on February, and my little ass tree is still up because I don't want to take it down. And mind you, it's not a huge one.
It never dies.
Well, true. I think Christmas and Halloween are the two holidays that never end, in my opinion. They're everlasting. There's something about them, you know. I guess the kid in me, but whatever.
Or the druid in us.
Right?
Hail Satan.
The pagan.
I'm about to watch another devil movie later on. I'm actually happy about it. It's called The Devil Whispered or something like that. It essentially looks like you ever seen Paranormal Activity, the Mark one? It looks like footage thing.
I got Paranormal Activity.
Found footage thing.
And I'm gonna watch a movie about the devil.
All right.
Got it.
Sounds good.
Satan. There you go.
Hail
Those
Satan.
are the best. Those are the best movies.
Satan.
That reminds me of the South Park Christmas episode when the squirrels, was it like the happy little tree friends fucks were like summoning Satan? Does anybody remember that?
That was Imagination Land. At least I remember that part.
'Cause-
Stan wrote a play about these wonderful little animals, and they just do like the most horrible, depraved things. Like,
I think the only full episode I've seen of that show that I could recall is the Thanksgiving episode where they did the Braveheart scene. South Park back in the day when it like first came out, and that was it. Like, I mean, I don't shit on the show because I don't watch it enough. It's more of a Family Guy, dude.
nothing wrong with that.
Stay
Moist.
Yeah, but
Moist.
yeah, South Park. All right, so can you guys hear me clearly, or is this?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was Guy that was holding us back.
God damn it, guy.
Oh.
That's too bad. I like that.
Totally kidding. I mean, who knows? It could be many different things. But yeah. So what are we getting on to now?
Dealer's
Holiday.
choice.
Let's do holiday movies first.
Yeah.
Holiday movies.
I feel like
Also,
I'm gonna offer nothing new outside of Die Hard. That's it. And those claymation stop motion Christmas films like Rudolph,
Fuck
Red Reindeer,
those movies. I hate those movies.
Frosty the Snowman, dude. Those are the only two I like.
those are classics.
Yeah,
Die
those
Hard.
I like and Die Hard. That's it.
So I had this discussion with my dad the other day when we were putting up his Christmas stuff at his place. What technically constitutes a Christmas movie? Just the
Movie that
fact,
takes place during Christmas.
right? So by that definition, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yes.
But is it only because they don't really mention Christmas a lot? Like it takes place on Christmas, granted, but
Well,
it's
actually,
not.
It doesn't take place on Christmas.
It's Christmas
but it's a
Eve.
Christmas party.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, you know, so like, is it really a Christmas movie if it doesn't really take care?
Come on. The message of the movie is spread goodwill towards other men unless they're trying to kill you, and then kill them.
Okay. I'm fully team like.
Same with the second one.
Not the third one.
Not the third one.
Even though the third one was fucking bloody awesome, though.
So are you arguing that?
No. Because my dad argued it, and he said that doesn't make it a
Christmas movie.
He was like, it would have to be something like Jingle All the Way, that takes place around and during Christmas and actually has like Santa Claus or the element of like families and Christmas and that kind of thing. He said he gave Die Hard like a this. He was like,
All right. Takes place during Christmas, or right before Christmas. It's I think they were the only ones that were left. It was like the week of Christmas, or it was maybe not a bend exactly on Christmas, but it was Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
He was going there for his family. He's protecting his family. He's the reason he's there is to save his family, is to save his wife, and the fact that he's just a general good guy and he's trying to save all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on Christmas, and he uses Christmas word,
Croc from the Block said, Die Hard is much a Christmas movie as Braveheart is a romance movie.
He's not wrong at all.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason. That's the linchpin of the whole fucking movie is her dying. So, yeah, it's really a romance movie.
Right.
Before
Run.
you guys remember this movie called Black Christmas? And it's not racist.
Yeah, it was like a horror movie, no?
Yeah, that was about a kid who he was going somewhere with his mother and father. They got stopped on the road. They got killed by a dude dressed in Santa Claus. A dude dressed in a Santa Claus costume. So he ended up getting put in an orphanage. And he was afraid of Santa, and then he started working in this then he grew up, started working in this retail store. Christmas came along, and then I forgot what happened. He flipped and started killing people in a Santa Claus costume, like that. Yeah, that's that. But anyways, that's it. Outside of that, I really can't offer shit. I feel like everything's just the same old shit. Like I don't have anything new to offer. I wish I did.
You don't need to.
Same old shit. Die Hard, those two movies, and it was one. I don't remember what it was.
Opus and Bill, A Wish for Wings at Work.
Now I'm fucking annoyed. I keep talking. I'm just gonna try to recall this.
What was another? I feel like we did this last year with the old cast.
Oh yeah.
We
did.
But
it was
like
pretty much us three. I think nobody else different, just us three. It's a different audience, kind of.
Well, now we can engage our 3 listeners, viewers, watchers, all that.
Whatever. That just means people that are watching live at a time.
Right. I think we can safely say that 8:30 Wednesdays is our new time slot.
Yeah, let's just go. I'm done with that.
Yeah, we gotta keep it steady, so to speak.
Okay.
Yerp. Really get into your soul stuff, like how's successfully failing going? How's the art of storytelling going? What's happening?
Danny start because Danny's seems like he's been in the busiest of busies.
I'm trying. It's going nowhere, but I'm trying. No,
you've been having great stuff like coming out.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I got similar to Thomas's 10 minutes or less. I started this. I haven't really put anything out because I haven't recorded, but I have this segment. It's SF Podcast Quickies. So yeah, like if I have one topic in particular to talk about, and say it's just me by myself, and I feel like shooting the shit real quick for 10, for like 2-5 minutes, whatever it may be. It's a little quickie. Yeah, something like that. And then I have this segment where it's kind of what. And also too, like sometimes you just can't. Excuse me. Sometimes you just can't because I'm a broke bitch, so it'd be nice to be able to get games once they come out and shit. But it's a segment that's not only like glued to games, but it could be movies, TV series, and it's called Better Late Than Never. So like I pretty much talk about stuff that maybe I should have spoke about months ago, weeks ago, years ago, but because yeah. That's really that. Outside of trying to figure out other things, and fucking stressing myself out about that. That's pretty much been that. Been devoting a lot of time to video games and movies over the last couple weeks or last 2 months or so. Trying to rack up on content. Like it was weird because I had a top 10 list, and then in the last see Like I said, I finally saw Baby Driver. I don't know if you guys are hearing all this. Am I chopping or not?
Yeah, there's some chopping.
There's some choppers.
Shit.
You're fine for the most part.
yeah.
I know I'm bad. So I was supposed to watch Baby Driver with my girl, and she ended up seeing it Thanksgiving weekend with her family, and she was like, "Whoops, my bad." And I was like, "All right, so I'm just gonna see it by myself." But I have
Just
not.
watch it already.
I
Go watch it again.
I've been watching, trying to catch up on Punisher, trying to catch up, finishing what's this shit? Future Man. What was the other show that I'm watching? Oh, and I finally caught up on my animes. Black Clover, anime, Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, I have an update.
Yes.
After 4 or 5 years or something like that, I think it's 4 years, I finally finished Grand Theft Auto.
I heard none of that.
Really, what?
Fuck it, this is annoying right now. After, like, whatever, Grand Theft Auto has been out for like 4 years or so, and I finally beat the game.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you know what? I could have beat it a long time ago, but I like to hold on to shit. So there's like 3 alternate endings, and it's funny. I've only beaten Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, and one of the DLCs for Grand Theft Auto 4. And there's reasons as to why I didn't beat the other ones.
Like?
Okay, so Vice City. I was playing and I got to this point. Are you guys hearing this? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to this point in the game where there was nothing on the map. No missions, no side missions, nothing. So I thought that my game was broken, so I just gave up. To find out, like, last month that my friend had to go around and generate, like, get money in order to buy something as like a property or some shit like that, and that's how you continue the game. I didn't know that.
Okay.
You guys didn't hear what I said.
I heard
No,
that.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I'm fiddling with chords.
Okay, no, because you guys had that look like. But yeah, so you had to generate money to get some property or something like that to continue the game. So I didn't know that. I found that out last month. I'm thinking just my game broke and I couldn't do nothing about it. So in San Andreas, I got to this one mission where you have to fly this little toy plane around.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like assassinate 3 targets on the map, and that shit, like, it was impossible. Like, either you and I'm not the only person that had this problem too. It was like you either your plane got destroyed or you ran out of fuel for it. So again, I found out last month that that's a side mission.
Oh wow.
And about one of those games, San Andreas came out with 2005, maybe 6. So
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we were definitely like coming out of high school, freshman, college, that kind of thing.
yeah. So I never got to beat those games. And in 4, I made it up to the final mission.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when they started doing this thing where there's like two endings. So I saved it and I just never finished it. So Lost in a Dam, that's one of the DLCs I actually beat, which is weird. That was actually the one that I didn't really care to play. I just played it and I beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Ballad of Gay Tony, I didn't play it that much. And then 5, it took me forever to beat.
Oh man, Bad at Gay Tony. I remember
and
that.
I haven't even beat Red Dead Redemption.
Wow. I played Red Dead Redemption one
And it's the
time
company
and
that I
didn't.
jack off all the time.
I couldn't stay with it.
I love that game, dude. Like, I played it online. That was my problem. I started playing it online, and you could do like almost everything that you could do offline.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I would find myself spending like 12 hours just picking flowers and hunting animals. I kid you not.
Wow.
Just to like level up and rank up. Yeah. So, that took my life away. So I never beat that. Then they had the Undead Nightmare DLC with the zombies, and I started playing it, but I never finished it. Like work and like I didn't like. There was like a million things I wanted to do after work, and So anywho, but I finally beat 5. So there you go.
There it is. I'm
I did my
currently
game.
I'm
Go
still
on with my
finishing up Fallout 4 Game of the Year. I'm like really early into it.
I wanted to get that, man, and I unfortunately I get one game like kind of. But yeah, I got that. I mean, I got Shadow of War, the Lord of the Rings game.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I started it just to check it out. It's pretty dope. It's definitely a big difference from Shadow of Mordor, which I beat. But I think since I beat Grand Theft Auto, I'm probably gonna go play The Last of Us. Finish that because I started that, never finished it. So yeah, I gotta. Hence the better late than never segment on my YouTube channel, and I could talk about all that shit and stuff. And dude, Horizon, fucking that game's awesome.
I'm dying to play that game, but I freaking just like got heavy into Fallout 4, and now with Destiny 2, the new DLC dropped yesterday, I want to say, and I have to pick that up once I finish all my Christmas shopping and all that nonsense.
Yeah. Horizon, a game. So you're better off just getting that. Even though the actual game is like $20 on Black Friday, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like dude, I haven't even touched The Witcher. I have The Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition from like last year. I never touched it because I know that's gonna consume me. Remember, like a couple months ago, I had put like, should I play Skyrim or Witcher?
Mm.
A
lot of people said because like at this point, if you haven't played Skyrim, you're just not gonna play Skyrim.
That's true. Well, see, if I want to get it for the Switch, and that's probably the best way for me to play it because you can actually go. So the beautiful thing about the Switch and games like that, like Breath of the Wild and all these full-blown games, is that you can play them on the go without sacrificing your time on your PS4. So like you could be playing something like Horizon, Fallout, Witcher, but then you could be playing Breath of the Wild or something, or Mario Odyssey when you're not home, which is cool. About that, so I'm waiting to get that. So yeah, but no, I get you. If you're not playing it on the consoles by now, then
true.
Penis.
So I'm never playing it.
Yeah, Tom, down the line, you should get yourself a Switch. I think that'll be the best thing for you because you don't have to be home to your TV.
Especially now that they're doing like third-party support.
Yeah, like they just released Doom a couple weeks ago. Now, granted, it's an older game, but that's the kind of game that you can just pick up and.
I wonder if their cheat codes still work. They still have like the IDDQD and IDKFA.
That's an interesting question. Might be because that game is pretty much like a fan service. I mean, it's an updated version and it's a really good version, but it really brings you to the core of like OG Doom, where it's just like the only thing is they're saying it's not as difficult as games. It's but yeah, so like something
I wanted to pick up what was that other game that came out? It was something with like no, it was another space game. I want to say Bethesda dropped it a couple months ago. Prey. That looked sick. I saw like a bunch of like Let's Players playing it, and I really thought, I was like, that seems a little like Bioshocky, like kind of Bioshock in space. I was looking like something I would get into.
That Viking game that came out a couple months ago. It's a shorter game.
Oh, For Honor.
No. It had a female protagonist.
Oh, the woman fight or whatever. She has like red hair. She carries around a spear and shoots a bow and arrow.
I think so.
That would be Horizon Zero Dawn then.
Yeah, that's the game we were talking about where it's like, yeah, I just finished that game. It's fucking amazing. It kind of has, because it's like the world, the story is crazy. The story is like borderline like Metal Gear Solid kind of shit. But yeah, pretty much technology ends up taking over because they humans let the yeah, I don't want to ruin it because it's actually pretty deep. But yeah, so like technology ends up like destroying humankind and they start over again. So it's like they have remnants of technology, but it's set in a primitive universe. Pretty crazy. But yeah, that's more than likely the game you're talking about. That if it wasn't for Breath of the Wild, that's game of the year.
Really?
Yep. I mean, for me, I haven't really been able to play as much games as I want to, but and I see what's around. Like Mario Odyssey is one. I called my shot. That and Zelda would be probably two of the top games of the year, along with Horizon. But yeah, like
I feel
don't
like
really
Mario
see
Odyssey is really fun, but I haven't heard anybody saying like anything
Nah.
really like anything that would grab me towards it. Like they're just saying, yo, it's fun. It's like just a fun Mario game, but it's nothing that I feel like I'm like racing to get. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not. It's not.
Then
I mean,
again, I
honestly,
also
as
would need
far
to
as
race to get a Switch first, but
yeah, dude, it's one of those things like well, as far as story goes, anything new out of Mario, it's always going to be Bowser kidnapped Peach and trying to do something with the world. That's one thing you'll never change with Mario. But no, they said as far as like the game itself.
Well, they
core
did
game,
change it once. They did didn't they do a one where Peach has to save Mario or something like that?
I don't know. I know they've done.
I feel like
ones,
I feel like I kept hearing about that. I feel like I was listening to a podcast the other day and someone mentioned it or like a YouTube clip. And they were like, every once in a while, or not every once in a while, but they had one game where Peach had to rescue. I think Eric. Brooklyn Link. He was talking about it.
honestly don't know. I mean, I can't personally recall. I don't remember a game where you actually play as Peach. I know there was like ones where you play as Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
But, to my knowledge, I don't remember. But yeah, so with that, it's like down to the core game. Excuse me. As far as story goes, you're not gonna get anything crazy. But the actual game itself, like they've been praising the shit out of it, just like they did with Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it may not be something that you're gonna rush to get a Switch for. I mean,
Right.
I think
I feel like the rush for the Switch was for Breath of the Wild. Even for Skyrim, it's not something like
nobody's getting a Switch for Skyrim.
Skyrim
Skyrim
because
is pretty much like if you have the Switch, then you'll get Skyrim. Not like
right,
I'm getting a Switch because of Skyrim
right,
because it's not a new game.
right.
But like even with Breath of the Wild being that was like the one game I've had for the majority of the year outside of like Mario Kart for a little while and that fucking stupid Street Fighter 2 game.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, it's awesome, like it's traditional Street Fighter like OG shit, but I've never been a fan like that. Like I used to play it, but
I'm a much bigger fan
or Killer Instinct
like
I like
Marvel
the
vs.
newer Street
Capcom.
Fighters.
Oh, guys,
Yeah.
that game I was talking about is called Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh, what the fuck?
Check
Hold on.
that shit out.
I feel like I heard about it, but
Yeah, it came out a while ago. It's on Steam.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's why it's not a console game. That's why. Yeah, I see.
No, it is.
pictures of that.
It is apparently
Oh,
Hellblade.
yeah. But it wasn't really. It didn't really make that much noise though. It was a good.
No,
game,
it was a short game, but that was
Yeah.
what.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
remember seeing girls cosplay as her and shit like that.
I do remember seeing a lot of this. I saw a lot of the fan art. Whatever happened to Oh man, the guys who created Shadow of Colossus, they came out with a new game, The Last Guardian, this year. Was that this year? That was this year.
Oh, The Last Guardian.
I heard like great things about that, but then like what I feel like is happening, like people are hyping up games and then like they're a blip.
Well, that game. The problem with that is it went through like, so it was supposed to be released. I want to say 5, 6, maybe even 7 years ago. This is in the PlayStation 3 cycle.
Yeah.
They pushed it back once they started developing PS4 because they felt it would be better for the PS4. And then the thing is, I was actually watching a video about this too. When it first came out, I mean, the game was cool and everything, but people complained because you couldn't get the creature to do what you wanted. Like, he didn't respond. But apparently, what happened was, along with bug fixes, you had to actually train him. So as the game progressed, it was frustrating to get him to do what you wanted to do, but eventually you got to the point where there was a distrust with that, and another game too nowadays, especially like online games. Like when it first comes out, people will cry that it's not perfect. It has this, but then you look at the progression of something like Rocket League and even Destiny.
Rocket League is so much fun. I wish I got into Rocket League when it first came out because I feel like that was one of like
free, dude.
Yeah.
It was free at one time on PlayStation Plus, and I didn't get it because I just didn't pay attention. And
yeah, same.
But yeah, so like and even Grand Theft Auto when it first went online, like there was issues because you're taking an open world game and letting everybody do whatever they want, and it's crazy. Like I always hear people complaining, oh, they should have tested for this, they should have prepped for this. But you have to understand, like you could prep with a couple hundred developers, maybe even thousands of developers if you include like beta people and shit like that. But when you release a game, it's nobody could prep for that, so it took time. And so yeah, with going back to with the Last Guardian, they said it was a good game at first, but people complained about the technical issues. But the whole thing was it was promising you like this creature actually thinking for itself, which in a game you don't really see that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but that's a game that I heard that it picked up and got better. So yeah, I want to play that because I'm a huge fan of Shadow of the Colossus, which they're actually re-releasing for PS4.
I heard. I've talked about it before. Like I don't know how I feel about re-releases of old games on newer consoles. Like granted, we're gonna be able to play it again if we don't have the the same systems that and the same game, and we must have traded them back. But for after the nostalgia is over, like you just spent $60 on a game you already beat. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, sometimes
it's worth it, but sometimes okay, go ahead.
Yeah, with a game like that, with Shadow of the Colossus, I mean that shit was way ahead of its time. Like if you ever played the original game on PS2, that shit was not like it should have came out. Not that it was anything wrong with it. I'm just saying like the way that game was, it was like almost like it came from the future. Because like you would never picture a game that massive as far as like the. You guys hearing me or am I chopping up? I see the.
No. Someone just sent me something that they cast Captain Marvel Jr. and I'm like, for what?
We didn't even get Captain Marvel yet. Chill out.
Right.
No, we're not shitting. We're not shitting on who sent you that post. I mean that.
No. But like everyone's just like super like everyone wants to be like, oh, this person was cast, this person was cast, this person cast, this person cast, and oh well, it looks like it's true.
You know what I get? What gets me annoyed when people start going off on like the the reports of people being online to be casted, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they got the job, and then they they put their opinions up there. Like, dude, let the person be casted first.
Right.
And is the proper term if somebody's casted for a film, they're casted, not cast for a film? I don't know. Maybe that's just me because I get annoyed.
Yeah, they're cast for a film.
Yeah.
Cast. Okay, because I say casted. Whatever. That's just me. But anyways, yeah. So.
So the kid from It, Jack Dylan Grazer.
The main kid. The one that stuttered. There's a lot of kids from It.
This guy. See him?
Yeah. That's the kid with the asthma.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, hey.
So we are getting Captain Marvel Jr., which I'm trying to figure out if this. So, not to get back into the DC talk, but like, if we how in the world would you cast, or in what world would you cast The Rock as Black Adam first, then find your Shazam?
Oh wait, are we talking about Miss Marvel Jr.? Are we talking about DC or Captain Marvel as in
No, this is DC. DC.
Oh, okay.
Shazam. Okay.
Oh, so
Shazam.
He's the kid. So he's Billy Baxton.
No, he's Freddie Freeman.
So Junior of Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel Jr.
They're just taking themselves fucking
Oh,
deeper.
I don't even know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, dude,
Like I don't like they're saying he's Captain Marvel Jr. and I'm like, why not just cast him as Billy?
And somehow to people, this is all Zack Snyder's fault.
Right?
It's who's the real monster here, dude? Fucking DC, Warner Brothers doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Dude, you have a cast of Justice League. All right, have we all seen Justice League? By the way?
Nope.
He has. He's not going
Shit.
to.
So can I give you an end credit scene?
Go for
You
it.
may have seen it or not. Okay.
With Deathstroke.
They didn't push into the dark side yet. They're going with Legion of Doom or Injustice League, whatever they decide to call it, which is cool in my opinion because Darkseid should be a villain left for later on. But so Legion of Doom, you have your Justice League, the main characters who you haven't even fully established, and Warner Brothers cares more about Shazam and fucking Black Adam and Suicide Squad and Gotham City Sirens. Like, I don't want to see a Gotham City Sirens movie unless it's a Batman movie with them as the villains, because that would be something new to have Batman go up against all female villains. I don't think we've ever really seen that in a movie, at least as far as like a group of female villains. So like that would be cool. So, but Warner Brothers rather focus on all this other stupid shit. Like, I don't want another one too. I don't want to see a Joker and Harley Quinn movie as much as I love the Catman film, and they're the villain. Like, but they whatever. And again, somehow this is all Zack Snyder's fault to some people. Which, have you guys seen the all the reports and everything? Like, I know it's been building up about the Snyder.
What?
What's his name? There's a video with Kevin Smith where he actually was going over that article about the scenes that were cut or
Oh, the Zack Snyder version of the movie.
Yeah. And there was one of his crew or whatever. They actually were one of the people who saw the initial cut, and she was able to confirm that most of the stuff that he said, that he was reading from, actually happened. So they did things like, there was a scene where Bruce. There was a couple scenes actually where Bruce acknowledges that he killed people in the last movie, and that he deserves to sort of go out because of that. So he felt so fucked up because he got lost in trying to destroy Superman, that he went against his morals. So they actually in Justice League addressed that, and he sort of had this like a moment of truth or righteousness or whatever, where he felt he deserved to die, like saving people just to because of what he did. Like, I thought that was brilliant. And then there was more with Cyborg. There was a lot of scenes. They even referenced, because remember how Man of Steel was now the beginning to all the DC extended universe or whatever? They actually referenced that as far as them bringing Superman back. You remember those what was it? That like it was some was it particles or data or something like that they had in the Man of Steel in Krypton. They had like those.
I
know what I'm talking about, right? I forget, but that was played in part. That played into Superman's return. Also, there was a race between Steppenwolf and the Joker. You cut that out of which would have made Wolf a lot more. You understand? Like, it would have made Steppenwolf a lot more menacing in a sense, and like his purpose being more meaningful.
There was a race with who? I'm sorry, I totally missed.
There was a race. There was a race between Justice League and Steppenwolf to resurrect Superman. So Steppenwolf wanted to resurrect Superman for his cause, and Justice League knew of that and wanted to get to him first. So these are things that Warner Brothers felt should have been cut from the film. And but they want to blame Snyder for this and, crucify him. But meanwhile, yeah, maybe he made mistakes. I don't know who the direction came from with Batman versus Superman as far as some of the things that happened in there. It could have been partially him, partially Warner Brothers. But whatever it was, he decided to
spoke about last time, you're putting all the responsibility on one man to focus on an entire universe that's not even his own. Like, he didn't create this, you know. And then, like, what if he has other projects that he wants to do? You know, now you're taking him away from his life or whatever. So yeah, so there was things that they cut, and supposedly there was a lady there who saw the initial cut and confirmed that most of these scenes were in there. Like, there was a scene with Zeus, Hades, and Zeus, Ares, and Green Lantern. Like, they actually spoke to each other. Like, there's a lot of shit in this movie that was cut. There's a scene where Flash saves Iris. You remember in the trailer where it shows him, like, running and he, like, pokes the glass or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that things were cut. Side. It was a car crash, but still, they showed that, so you get more of an idea of, because he did awesome in the film. Like, his Ray Fisher's depiction of Cyborg was great. But you cut out little things, and when you see the movie, not that it really killed it, but you can tell that it was like, damn, this should have been delved into a little more. So, all that shit with Snyder drives me crazy. But yeah, it's crazy how much they cut, and they think it's okay. And now Warner Brothers wants to go and make fucking Shazam movies. Like, who gives a fuck about Shazam, honestly?
Right?
Maybe he'll make for a good movie, you never know, but dude, you have a lot more things you need to focus on. And there should be no pressure.
You're trying to establish your ground in, like, dry sand, essentially.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, dude, everybody's giving Snyder shit, but he went out of his way from these reports, you know, to make man and important in what's going on now, because remember, like we spoke about last time, that movie wasn't really made to be part of a universe.
No.
For the most part, but he had to go and fix that. And you know, everybody, I see all these posts. Oh, it's his fault. Fuck out of here. And then, like, yeah, whatever. But anywho, it's amazing that they have something that is, like, what are the two biggest, like, I mean, I think honestly, like, Batman, Superman, and Star Wars are the biggest things in pop culture outside of, like, Spider-Man. Yeah, exactly. And like, you can't, dude, they did justice to Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter for the most part. They didn't fuck around with those franchises for the most part. You have your little gripes or whatever, but those are successful, you know, both critically and financially. They have power. Yeah, well, somebody else behind them, and you're gonna go and dick around with that. When there should be no pressure. There should be no pressure to catch up to Marvel. Dude, Marvel, whatever. But anywho.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. There shouldn't have been any pressure to try and compete that way.
Yeah,
I'm sure the DC fans would have been more than happy for you to, if you were going to do a universe, to build it properly and make it the right way, so you don't, you know, you don't have this fucking problem that they have right now.
Isn't it crazy that they're like, you know, this studio rather focus on certain things and cut stuff out of important shit to, like, just what, to spite Snyder? Like, to spite Snyder? Like, come on.
I don't think they did it to spite Snyder. That's the wrong choice of words, but they're using him as a scapegoat to blame, you know, all their problems on him.
Honestly, I don't even think this and that.
I don't think the studio's blaming him for anything. Or I think it's just the fans that have decided that they don't like Zack Snyder for some reason. Either they like him or they don't like him. It's like one or the other.
Warner Brothers is using that to their favor because they, you know, nobody's.
They're not getting blamed. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course they're gonna do that.
It's crazy, man. Like, and then I don't know. I heard multiple things about Feige. Like, I heard he sort of sabotaged, but then on the other end, I heard him and Snyder were really good friends. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, but yeah, Shazam. This is what we're getting.
Why do we need a Shazam movie? We don't. We really at this point.
No.
And I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna knock the Rock. Yes. Do you think people are gonna actually care? I mean, people don't even care about Jumanji. People don't even care about Rampage because of him. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's gonna help, kind of sell. I mean, he's gonna help, kind of sell, but like, it ain't nobody caring about
Like, if we wanted a Jumanji boot, which people have been talking about for years now, about Jumanji, but if we really want a Jumanji boot, like, just slapping, Kevin Hart, and The Rock in another fucking movie, like,
yeah,
really?
And you know what's funny? I'm not even mad at the premise because if you all remember the animated series that came out after the movie, dude, that was great.
Yeah,
like, they went into the world, and that's the best way to do it because if you bring Jumanji back to Earth, it's just gonna be stupid. Like, it just, like, it happened already. Like, Rock did, like, dude, I promise you that Rampage movie is gonna be a bomb. I mean, it looks
terrible. It looks stupid. I'm sorry. It looks stupid.
Well, yeah, it does.
It looks really bad.
I'll watch it, but I'm not gonna spend money on it. It's one of those movies. Like, it'll be something you catch on Netflix, like the Goosebumps film. I saw that. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna watch it again, but I watched it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Was I crazy about it from the get? No, I don't fucking care.
Sorry, Rampage just looks terrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
I didn't bother looking at the trailer for it.
Well,
as soon as I saw that The Rock was in the same outfit, I was just
What's wrong with my friend?
Yeah, right, dude. It looks like they bunched together Jumanji and what's the movie and San
Andreas.
Andreas.
Yeah.
Crazy. There was something I wanted to bring up that was actually worth talking about. I forgot what it was. These nuts. Are we all here?
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to respond to, like, the group chat, or not the chat, but the live chat.
Thomas died.
What? What just happened?
I don't know. Thomas left. Oh, his connection is being... No, that's you. Your connection is being...
My connection is being, like... I've, like, reconnected, and it's showing on the live stream, like, 4 times now.
That's good. There was something I wanted to bring up, and I completely forgot. We got lost in the mix of the Fox and 21st Century Fox and Marvel thingy. I mean, Disney thingy.
Really close to happening. Like, it looks like it's gonna happen.
You know what's really funny? Me and my friend X, we were talking on the I think it was the Infinity trailer podcast, and we were talking about how it would be pretty weird. Like, we feel like they might have something in the works to where some characters from Fox could be in the next Avengers film. But we were saying it was weird because we didn't really think it was possible because you would have to get the merger going now because I'm pretty sure they're going to start filming soon because it is coming out next year. But then it's like weird because we talk about that and then all these posts come out.
Look at what happened with this kid with Tom Holland and that deal. That deal happened like
you know what? They were probably
like that deal happened not like too long, just before or just after Civil War was like being done, like filming.
Yeah, it was within the same I guess radius, so to speak. And it's funny because like they could have been, these things could have already been in the works and probably already done as far as they go now. Like they're probably already working on storyboards and filming, production, whatever, as we speak. But the announcement comes to play. But wouldn't it be really crazy if we get something along the lines of a Reed Richards? Because you think about it, how are they going to stop how are they going to stop like Thanos and whatnot? Maybe the negative zone comes into play or some shit like that.
Well, it only works to their favor to have them come late in the ball game.
That's shooting a little too far.
What happened?
Wait, what happened? No, you go.
I said I think it works in their favor to have them come this late in the game. Like, I feel like they're gonna end up like being able to bring in all these new fresh characters, breathe new life into their franchise that isn't doing bad at all right now. You know, they're winning, but now you're just like, oh, we have all these new toys to play with, because essentially that's what's happening.
Yeah, because they want to get away from Downey and all
working,
them. Yeah.
They're working with like a handicap. They don't have all their characters. Now you give them all their characters and all the rights to their characters to do the stories proper, or to do like certain stories like on a grander scale. It's gonna be out of control.
Yeah, it's funny too, because like we always said, who the most popular Hulk and the X-Men. Nobody cared about Iron Man. Nobody cared about, even though Captain America was a big deal. I mean, most people didn't care about them. Nobody cared about Ant-Man. Nobody cared about Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody even knew who Guardians of the Galaxy was before. And mind you, that's not even the Guardians of the Galaxy we see in
it's like one of the fifth or sixth iteration.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know if anybody, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this, but Stallone actually played.
The second one, he was part of. They were the original. They were the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, so now
everybody else.
Yeah, now you could do so much, and then you could end off Infinity Wars with, like, you know, with a second film with, like, Doom coming into emergence. And the cool thing is, we spoke about, like, time altering and all that shit. Like, the Time Stone. That's it. That's all the reality stone. Excuse me. One of those two, or both of those two. Both of them. Excuse me. Could come into play and go from another universe, some shit, like simple thing like that. It's not as crazy as the whole Flashpoint thing. You know, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, you could do the Time Stone, reality
like
stone,
Flashpoint, and like Tommy said last time.
Yeah, it'll negate everything. It'll negate it in the sense like they're gonna change it, but it's gonna go back to the way it was. It's like a full 360. Yeah. It's kind of like what Days of Future Past was supposed to do. It was supposed to change things, but really, what changed? Because it was just like nothing really changed outside of like them bringing back characters but younger, but whatever. But yeah, so there's a lot of crazy shit that could happen. I mean, the biggest question is Deadpool. What's gonna happen with him?
If they're smart, they'll leave Deadpool as rated R.
Yeah, they could do that. You look at the Netflix universe, and even there's a question of, are they really tied to the big universe? I mean, I think they are, and they have mentioned vaguely early in the seasons. I think they did that just to leave, like, I think, okay, so you remember when they call, like, Jessica Jones called the Hulk the green guy, and they called that event, the shit that happened in New York, the event, or whatever. I think they did that just to either go one of two directions. Either we vaguely mention those things, so if we do put everything together, you know, it's already been said, but if we don't put everything together, whatever. What we mention little things, but it's not going to move the story along. It's not going to hurt the story. But, I mean, but my thing is, like, you can get away with that. You can definitely get away with one, you know. You could even tone Deadpool down a bit.
No. What you should do is make it a joke within Deadpool's little wall break where he can't spare.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can he can anytime he wants to drop the F-bomb, just like.
Yeah, or like have a sound effect happen while he's saying it, something stupid like that.
Dude, I think that would be brilliant if they actually the movie is with all the F-bombs. They just put the bleep. I think that would be so fucking magnificent. Like, just imagine you watching. You remember Scott Pilgrim versus the World when was it Scott's sister? Yeah, it was Scott's sister. No, it wasn't Scott's sister. Who was the girl that? Who was she? Like. Okay, yeah. Anyways, what's her name? Aubrey Plaza, the character she played. Like, whenever she cursed, they bleeped it. Okay. Like, that would be brilliant. Like, show boobs, but like, blur it out or put a censor thing. You know, anything like that. Like, that'd be cool. That's a good idea, Tom.
I mean, they do it for the animated series. In Spider-Man Unlimited with the crossover they did with Deadpool, they did like a lot of bleeping or just like kind of moments.
Yeah, I remember that because in that cartoon he was kind of. I mean, it was a lot different, but in a sense it was kind of like he censored himself. That's a good idea, Tom. And that would be great, because you don't lose the steam that. So you're not really toning it down per se.
You're basically censoring it, but you're censoring it strategically and purposely just to sort of fuck with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's aware of what's going on, because he's breaking the fourth wall, so he can comment on the fact that, oh, geez, the studio can't even bleep and let me say bleep. What the bleep? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they do kind of do things not to that extent, but with Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's sort of like it's not goes around that territory. So yeah, you could pull that off. That'd be great. I would die if like the entire movie had like bleeps and shit.
Wait. You guys know us?
And then like just release a uncut Blu-ray.
Yeah, that'd be even. Then you can sell make money on the Blu-ray to hear everything uncensored.
Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna lose any steam if you do that. Yeah, just have all the content there, just censor it.
Like have one of the lines be like Deadpool's like, oh, I get to I'm the one who gets to have I'm the only one that's like gets the on-screen fuck, but as soon as he says it, someone else walks by and just goes fuck, and he's like, ah.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. Or even like like the shits if like he's in an Avengers movie or something like that.
Fox is doing Deadpool.
But
he's gonna stay with Deadpool. That's how they're gonna do it. Like how Sony's doing. Still gonna.
Oh, okay.
So.
No, but even still, okay. So according to Chris, they're saying Fox is with Deadpool. He's still gonna be part of Fox, but he'll be allowed to be used. They'll be allowed to use references and characters. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they still have rights to the. Well, at least that's the speculation. Like they still have rights to movies, but I'm fine with that as long as they coexist with each other.
Do you think they'll give him the Spider-Man deal, or do you think they'll give him the Hulk deal?
What?
The Hulk deal, he can't be used in his own solo movie within the MCU, but with the Spider-Man deal, he can be used his own thing. But like Sony has to clear it first, or whatever that fuck is.
I think if they don't I mean, I don't know what their position is, and I'm hearing like it's $60 billion.
Yo, the numbers are crazy. I've been hearing stuff in like the high, like mid-billions, and I'm like,
yeah, dude, $60 billion was the number I saw. So I think if with that kind of number, I think you're buying everything.
Yeah, I would sure as fuck hope so.
Because $60 million is like, that's like, I mean, that's kind of a percentage of a one film gross, but $60 billion. I mean, dude, how many hundred million movies do you have to make to get to $60 billion?
I feel like how much money has the MCU made as a whole so far?
Well, I don't know, but what is it, like 100 million times 100 is a billion, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have to do that 60 times. So you'd have to, you have to go a billion, and they're not gonna go a billion on every movie. It's very rare. I mean, they'll be successful, but you gotta understand, like, this is not. At least for now, I don't know how, but at least with the episodes, that's gonna be like one of the few franchises that every film grosses $1 billion. And I'm talking about the episodes, not like Rogue Ones, and because the episodes are a big deal until eventually it gets oversaturated, which I doubt because Star Wars is a whole different monster. But yeah, so $60 billion, I think you're getting the rights to everything.
With that kind of money, I hope so.
Yeah, but even if they do a collab thing, I'm fine, dude. As long as they coexist with each other, because these universes need to be together. Especially X-Men. I think X-Men needs Marvel more than anything, and I think Marvel needs Fantastic Four more than anything. So it's kind of like, it's almost like Marvel can live without X-Men, but it can't live without Fantastic Four. But X-Men is only gonna fucking fall on
if we get X, or if they get X-Men, like, for them not to try to do the X-Men versus Avengers movie would be, like, insane.
Oh, if that's the next build-up, dude, that would be fucking great. Because then, I mean, like, if you build into that, don't make it like a one-off thing like Civil War. You know, it's got to be a big thing because you're taking, I mean, two universes within themselves. Because even in the comics, X-Men and regular superheroes are, well, mutants and regular superheroes are kind of looked at in a different light. I mean, they still collab and there's crossovers, but it's a lot different in that. But I don't know, because I mean, if you do that, then there's a lot of ramifications that come after that I think would be pretty cool. But who knows? But that's pretty big news, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Tom Hardy's supposed to be Venom, I feel like that movie's gonna get canned.
I feel like we should try for another episode, like, later on this week after, like, some more trailers drop, and we get word of, because it sounds like the merge is, like, really close, or the buyout, whatever they're doing.
Yeah, they're supposed to, supposedly, didn't they say, like, by this week, I think, or some shit like that?
Right.
Supposedly. So we got that.
Let's say by Friday, we can try to pull off another, like, quick episode, or whatever the case is.
Yeah, for sure. Because we got that. We got that. We got Jurassic World, the trailer, or whatever the fuck it's called. And yeah, I think there's something else happening. Oh, well, no. Well, you got the Disaster Artist film.
Yes.
So that's something. Hopefully, I get to see it though. Like right away. I honestly want to see that shit. Like. There's that, and then we got the lead in into Star Wars. We're gonna have to do the whole social media blackout. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm actually happy about that because now it's gonna be a lot easier because I'm not working. So when I was at work, you have nothing else but to do but to stare at your phone for the most part. You know, you just kill time. Now I can focus on, you know, playing video games, whatever the fuck it is, and not stare at my Facebook or Instagram. Because, dude, like, I mean, I remember when people were spoiling, quote unquote, spoiling the last episode 7. It's funny when I found out the spoilers were that Han Solo dies. Like, dude, if that's a spoiler to you, come on.
That's not a spoiler?
Really? That's dude. No, my thing is this.
Dude, I found out literally like not even like a few hours before like I went into the movie, and I was fucking severely pissed because I was like, it's not like so much as a huge spoiler, and it doesn't really change or impact as much. But it's enough that I'm like, yo, just
Harrison
don't,
Ford.
like the movie literally just came out today. Don't fucking like say anything about it. Like it makes no sense.
Either way, even though like, all right. So my thing is, I knew Harrison Ford clearly said he was only going to be part of this movie if he got outed, if he died. So I knew it was coming. But the thing is, yes, still, even if you know it's coming, don't be an asshole and say it. So yeah, right. I'm not condoning those people that said it. But I'm just like, if that's the spoiler, because to me,
I put it out there. I was like, yo, I'm gonna start unfriending people. Like,
I signed off everything.
There's one person but that's the thing. We
shouldn't have to do that.
We can't like just be like, all right, we're out for
dude. It was hard
because we are like bound to social media for all of our separate projects or all the communal projects. So like for us to be like, oh, that's unfair. Like fucking. Fandoms now like have been so like either you get the really good fandoms that'll wait like a week or whatever the case or a few days, but then you know the other ones who just like people just don't give a shit and they'll just start spoiling shit. And it's like, yo, fam, like let
that's not cool, man. Like it's one thing if you post like a post and you just like put a big now that you know how Facebook has the background thingy on your status.
Yeah,
you could easily put Star Wars talk spoilers here. Now you could do that and. You could talk whatever the fuck you want if you want to. I still think private chats are better, but, you know, you're not going to start a private chat with people you don't know because that's just going to become annoying. But, yeah, do that. But, like, don't go into other people's statuses that have nothing to do with that. Because, dude, I was seeing people posting stuff that had nothing to do with it and getting spoilers dropped in there. And that's crazy. But, yeah, like, you should at least wait
like
a week.
Someone had a still frame shot of Han Solo and like getting the lightsaber through him, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, blah blah."
Oh,
blah. And I was like, "Yo, the movie Jaws fucking came out today. At the very least, it was Friday, and it came out. It happened Thursday. Like, come on, like, are you serious?"
Yeah, that's bad. Like, see, my thing is like, I mean, even though like I didn't feel that was a spoiler because I knew he was gonna. I knew it. He's Harrison Ford said this. He didn't want to be whether they actually did it or not, but I saw it coming, and it still affected me. Like that scene in the movie was deep as fuck, even if you've seen it coming from a mile away. I mean, just with the connection that everybody has. But to me, like a spoiler was more like Rey being the Jedi. Thankfully, I didn't see that. But still, yeah, it's annoying that we have to, because like you said, as creators, we shouldn't have to fucking like black out social media, which is something we need to promote or to get topics for a podcast and all that shit. So it's a shame that we have to do that. But this that we.
We should probably end this before the connection goes out for like the 7th time.
Yeah, dude, this is crazy. I mean,
been the most annoying. Like, this hasn't happened on any other live shows. Like, this is the first time it's been like this fucking wonky. But
because I was on a live show with you guys a couple weeks ago, right?
yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't bad at all. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just that's why I don't believe in God. I'm kidding, man. But yeah, like we should try to do this like definitely before Star Wars, obviously. I mean, I know we're aiming for Wednesdays, but yeah, if the Marvel news comes out and
we can
providing the
I'll
Jurassic
be off on Friday.
Yeah, I'm down Friday. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
As of right now, I'm off for the next few Fridays.
I might be going to a show. Okay, cool. I might be going to a show, but that's all if Jason can actually make it to Brooklyn. So, but I'm almost 200% positive he's probably not going to be able to make it.
What
So
if we
yeah.
just did like midday?
But I can still talk during the day too.
Yeah.
I'm off all day, so yeah. Because I don't usually leave to concerts till like the afternoon, maybe like mid-afternoon. So yeah, either way we'll touch base. But I'm down if we want to do it early, whatever.
That works.
Just hit me up, man. But yeah. So what do we got? We got Jurassic World tomorrow, right?
Yep.
No, the trailer's tomorrow.
It's gonna.
I want to be excited about it, but like I was excited about the last one, dude. I was hyped for that last one. Let me down. Dude, tell me that fucking predator dinosaur wasn't sick though.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
But they fucked that up.
Oh, of course.
I mean, you know what? Let me not say that because I'm pretty sure he's not that bad of a director. Especially with Star Wars, it's a lot more. There's a lot more around it, like with the writers and the way they treat it. But yeah, J.J. Abrams is back. That got me stoked.
Right.
So, but anyway, yeah. So, what are we calling it a night or?
We are calling it. So,
Okay.
A little over an hour today.
That's not bad.
We'll be back.
We survived. We survived.
Good enough.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. Have a good night, y'all.
Good night, boys and girls. Catch you
Peace,
later.
easy.